take you back a small moment in my life that, while seemingly ordinary, but a norm in most Indian families, was a defining chapter in my journey. I was 16, all dressed in a sari, with my hair oiled and well braided. My aunts sat beside me, commenting on how pretty I looked. It wasn't an outfit I would have chosen. It was chosen for me. I had been dressed up to meet with a young psychiatrist, a potential match for marriage. While the sari, a beautifully embroidered organdy piece, represented more than just tradition. It was a costume meant to project a homely, docile image. Though inside, I was anything but. After a meeting, it was a yes from both sides, and I was married. A stack of saris was handed to me by my mother-in-law. Beta, these are for you to wear to college, she said warmly. Why she called me beta, a term of warmth, the dichotomy struck me. The saris represented a conformity to an image I could not relate to. I longed to return back to my free-spirited world of t-shirts, jeans, and my dad's oversized kurtas. My tomboyish self could not relate to this new role and new avatar. But my mother's insistence to adapt held me back. Later, when I had to take up a hobby to keep myself busy, my father's words echoed in my mind. Roti, kapda aur makan. These are three industries that will always thrive, he said. Roti, I did not want to cook. Makan, real estate did not excite me. Kapda, yes, that was it. That was it. Passion was my outlet to reclaim my voice in an area and a family and an environment that sought to confine me. College was a revelation. Monday mornings, there was a hustle and bustle in the ladies' room. Students trying to do makeup, trying to set their hair, some trying to wear their 4-inch heels, the others trying to set their clothes. Our mentor, Sridevi, would challenge us to craft outfits out of our existing wardrobes based on a theme that he provided, and we were graded on it. Not only on our creativity, but how well it represented our style. Through this weekly exercise, I saw a combination and a connection between clothing and identity. While many emulated the 80s pop artists and their role models, like Madonna and Cyndi Lauper, some of them came out with their own styles. Some of my classmates chose bold colors and bright prints to emulate that fun and edgy demeanor. Some whispered pastel tones and neutral colors with vintage prints to exude a classic, timeless image with confidence. Others embraced bold styles. Some embraced minimalism. And some came up with using ethnicities of their culture to show off something that were their own choice, something that was rooted from their alma mater, their family, their traditions. My voice gradually began to emerge. Gender neutral, yet rooted in tradition. With every nod I got from my mentors, it encouraged me to pushing boundaries, to find an expression that was truly mine. I realized that style was not just about clothing. It was a tool of self-expression and identity. I began blending pieces that reflected a version of myself using signature cuts and garments like torn jeans, white shirts, and a lot of oxidized jewelry to exude an edgy look. Kurta, pajama, and bandi to create that androgynous Indian style. A tailored jacket with a sari, accessorized with belts and boots that exude my sensibilities of power dressing. The combinations gradually became a staple in my wardrobe, and I was crafting stories about who I was becoming and what I valued. My style mantra was emerging. I began to understand that fashion was more than fabric. It was a language, and the style statement was a voice. Years later, I came across a story that resonated deeply. Usha Uttup, the legendary singer, sang Skyfall draped in a Kanjivaram sari with gajra in her hair, and that too in a nightclub. She proved that she not only could own the stage while staying authentic, but had a voice of her own. The blend of modernity and tradition inspired me to explore how fashion tells our stories. As a young apprentice in the film industry, I once walked into work in a pink sari. On set, some of them looked at me and smiled in appreciation. Others complimented me. But then, the director jokingly remarked, "You are such a distraction. You look so lovely. How do we work?" That day, I learned the power of passion to influence perceptions. It wasn't just about clothes. It was about the message that they conveyed. From that moment, I decided to dress in the message I wanted to deliver. For work, I chose power dressing, sharp silhouettes, neutral tones, clean-cut lines that exude my sensibilities of power dressing. Simple tweaks in my garments, like adding a patch or embroidery, or an embellishment, or draping a sari differently, transformed ordinary pieces of my wardrobe into expressions of my identity. Fashion became my armor. It did not just reflect my confidence, it helped me nurture it. With every choice I made, whether it was pairing a traditional sari with a contemporary element or experimenting with fabrics, cuts, and accessories, I discovered a little more of myself. In the beginning, I used to constantly ask myself, what do people say? Is this too bold? Am I too unconventional? But each time I found something fantastic waiting for me on the other side. A stronger belief in my own authenticity. What I learned is that confidence doesn't come from blending in. It comes in from embracing who you truly are. The moment I stopped dressing for others and started dressing for myself, I began to unlock a version of me that was unapologetically bold, unique, and very real. Now, as an academician, I have the privilege of guiding fashion aspirants to own their voices. I remind them that style is but a journey, not a destination. It is a process of daring to experiment, of evolving and growing, and letting their narrative shine from their own style statements and the choices they make. Fashion is not just about expressing ourselves in the present age with new age ideas. It is about honoring the past and taking inspirations from it. It is about bringing in age-old ideas and making them into your own expression while still being mindful of the future and the environment. For those who value sustainability, the mantra of quality over quantity is vital. By investing in timeless, high-quality pieces or classics that you would like to wear and repeat in your wardrobe, you not only endure practicality and creativity, rejecting the wastefulness of fast fashion, but you also create a mindful wardrobe that also leads to embracing the art of upcycling, transforming old and discarded garments and making them into something new and unique with your own aesthetics is an excitement that endures the work that you put into it. At times, a treasured garment like a mother's bridal lehenga can be repurposed into a meaningful piece for the next generation, reviving the heritage, weave and embroidery without discarding it. It is a celebration of heritage, individuality, emotionality, and wearability, all by reviving age-old crafts and fabrics. As a mentor, I often encourage students and brides alike to follow this philosophy by reviving and reimagining existing pieces. We not only craft a personal narrative, but through reusability, they also contribute to a more sustainable future. I lead the fashion aspirants with the mantra, my 3 E's. Be enthusiastic about discovering yourself. Be experimental, because growth happens outside your comfort zone. And most importantly, empower yourself to create a voice that is entirely your own. In a world chattering and bursting with ideas, innovations, and technology, finding your voice that truly stands out is not only a choice, it is a necessity today. Survival in a crowded space requires resilience, courage, and a creative vision to be able to navigate with focus around the potholes and speed bumps that come your way. I've also had my fair share of challenges. Balancing the responsibility of family and children was no small feat. As an entrepreneur, the stakes were even higher. I was not only building a business, I was responsible for for contributing to the livelihoods of 180 karigars, each depending on the kind of work I could bring in. The competition was relentless. At every turn, there were questions, doubts, and battles to fight. But amidst it all, there was one constant that helped me rise above it: the unwavering belief in my creative authenticity. My voice, rooted in the power of being true to my work and myself, became my anchor, my strength, and my identity. As time passed, my work spoke for itself and I began to carve a niche in the industry. But then a new kind of challenge emerged, one that I wasn't ready for. The whispers started. Is she still working? Oh, I thought she only did red lehenga and bridals. She's been around so long. I'm sure her designs are dated. Ageism wasn't just a concept. It was looking at me in the face. Suddenly, my years of experience and success were being overshadowed by perceptions of irrelevance to my body of work. But here's the thing about authenticity: it doesn't fade. It only gets stronger with time. I leaned into the power of my work and constant reinvention with current trends, letting my creations and my voice silence the doubts. I realized that standing out wasn't about blending in. It was about having a voice of your own and staying true to what you believed in. And that is a lesson I carry with me today. Whether it's in fashion, entrepreneurship, or life, the voice of authenticity is timeless. This is what transforms competition into collaboration, challenges into opportunities, and the whispers of doubts into voices of empowerment. From the sarees that were handed to me as a young girl to the ones that I had styled with power and purpose, fashion has become my voice, a language of self-expression and authenticity. In a world that focuses on what you're supposed to be, I found my strength in being unapologetically myself. And that, my friends, is a voice worth listening to. Namaskar.